Santosh was lovingly running his fingers through Trisha's hair. She was smiling with her head in his lap, her eyes closed. Sitting on a bench in a corner of the park, the two of them seemed oblivious to the world. Santosh, what have you thought about the future? She closed her eyes and gave him a sweet kiss on the hand and asked hurriedly, if you get a scholarship, will you go abroad? Have you ever thought about how I will be here alone without you? Trisha asked. I have not thought about it, Santosh said in a serious tone. You should get married. You will be busy in life. By the time I come back here, you will have one or two children. What do you say to this? He somehow suppressed his laughter and said, I will bring foreign dolls for your children. Hearing Santosh's words, Trisha stood up at once and said, do you want me to marry someone else? Then okay, many people are coming to see me. I will say yes to one of them. And she started walking away. Santosh held her hand and said, okay, but you should clarify one thing. Do you want me to marry you or not? I will give you my best wishes for your wedding right now, Santosh said, suppressing his laughter. Thank you so much, Trisha said, frowning. Let go of my hand. Stop being so stupid. How can I let go of your hand like that? Did I not promise you to be with you for the rest of my life? She stopped when Santosh's arms stopped her. Then, when Santosh's lips touched hers, her eyes shyly looked down at the ground. Santosh lifted her face with his hand and said, the effort of churning the ocean was in vain because there are 14 gems in your eyes. Tell me another truth. Do you look very cute when you are angry? Okay, you didn't mean that I would look ugly the rest of the time, Trisha said, freeing herself from Santosh's arms. How many times have I told you not to say such things? I don't like those things. Why do you still say such things? Okay, I won't say such things from now on, he said, holding his ears and started hitting him. Enough, stop now. Your drama is too much. First you get angry, then you play a drama like this, Trisha said while smiling. I will introduce you to my mother and father. They will be very happy to meet you. They should also know what a handsome and intelligent son-in-law I am looking for, she said. Santosh smiled at Trisha's words, but he was shy about meeting her mother and father. He felt like he could not respond to meeting them because where is his family and where is their family? There is a world of difference. He should not have mentioned this in front of Trisha. If he said anything, she would have got angry. Once Santosh had asked, do your mother and father accept our relationship? Then she snorted and said, why don't you accept? You have 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, hands and feet, a brain, just like a person. You are smart too. The most important thing is that his only daughter likes you. Then why doesn't she approve of our relationship? My parents are ready to do anything for me, Trisha said proudly. She understood what he was trying to say. So she said, I am the daughter of a rich man and you are from a modest family. Do you think that because of that we cannot get along? When you and I became friends, did we both know that I am rich and you are poor? The fact that we both love each other is the biggest fact of all. I promise you that our love will not be limited to money. Trisha said firmly and kissed Santosh. Trisha's kiss stirred not only his lips but also his mind. After that, both of them were lost in each other for hours. Where have you been? Trisha asked him and he returned to the present from the past. I will come to your house to bring you. You should be dressed and ready. By the way, you should wear the white and green shirt that I gifted you for your birthday. You will look very beautiful in it. Trisha was very happy. She was going to take Santosh to meet his parents for the first time. She was sure that Santosh would like it. Her father Akshay would be very happy to meet Santosh because Santosh and his father had more or less the same ideas. Isha's mother was a little different in nature, but she was sure that she too would not say no. Santosh and Trisha's meeting did not take place in any college or at a friend's party. A few months ago, one day Trisha's two-wheeler broke down in the middle of the road. There was no mechanic nearby. She felt that it was dangerous to stand in such a deserted area for a little longer. Such incidents had happened here and there in recent days, making her go nervous. Trisha was calling her mom and dad, but the place she was in was out of the network coverage area. No one's phone was connecting. She kept looking around, thinking to herself, what should I do now? She was expecting someone to come to her aid, but no one caught her eye. It did not take Santosh long to realize that the young woman wearing a blue dress and with her hair tied together might be in trouble when she saw her standing on the side of the road. Is there a problem? Trisha was surprised to hear a voice from behind. When she turned around, she was shocked to see a young man. Maybe your scooty has broken down. Can I help you? Santosh asked, stopping the bike to one side, and the hairs on her body stood up in fear. She wondered what the boy could do to her. Could he find a lonely girl in this deserted area and rape and kill me? Just a few months ago, some boys had raped and beaten a girl to death on the pretext of helping her. The same thing happened to me, but what could I do? She wondered. Hello, madam. Where have you been? Santosh was observing the changes in Trisha's face. Do you need any help from me or should I leave? No, I don't want any help. You leave, she said in a panicked voice and tried to call her family. She thought that if she got a phone network and her family would come soon, it would be enough. But the phone alone was not connected. Trisha loved going on long drives alone. She loved going far away from the hustle and bustle of the city, enjoying the greenery of the fields along the forest path. Her father would often tell her, you are not going that far alone. If you do go, take someone with you. What if the car breaks down on the way when you are on a scooty? He would ask, but Trisha would not listen to that. Where can you find the joy of traveling alone with someone else? She would go wherever she wanted, thinking, nothing will happen. Dad, you are worrying about me in vain, she said, trying to cover his mouth. But only today did she start to feel how right her father had said it. She started to feel that if someone had been with her, she would have had some courage. While she was thinking, how good it would have been if she had agreed with her father, a large vehicle passed by her. She waved her hand for help. But the vehicle moved forward at a fast pace. But the vehicle that moved forward came back at the same speed. Trisha breathed a sigh of relief. When the vehicle stopped in front of her, she said, my scooty has broken down. Please, I need help. Trisha was getting scared, but she didn't want to stay there the whole night. The boys sitting in the car looked her up and down. Then they said something in their eyes. Then one of them said, is your scooty broken? But there is no mechanic here. For that you will have to go to the city. By the way, where are you going? He asked very politely. I have to go to Adarsh Nagar Green Park, she said in a panicked voice. Yes, do you want to go to Green Park? We have already left from that direction. If you like, you can come in our car. If you call and send the mechanic here, he will send your scooty home. When the boy said this, Trisha stood silent for a minute because it is not right to trust anyone so easily. However, these boys seem to be good people. What will I do if I don't go with them and no one comes to help me? It is getting dark and this place feels deserted. It's better to go with them, she thought as she sat in the carriage. Meanwhile, a boy grabbed her hands tightly. As the other one was closing the door, Trisha started shouting loudly, let go of my hand, I won't come with you. But both the boys forcibly held her and started making her sit in the carriage. One of them scolded her and said, sit, girl, otherwise we will kill you and throw you here and no one will know. Hearing their words, Trisha was shocked. She knew that she would not be saved from them because she felt that no one would come to protect her in such a deserted area. In the city, people would be walking around until midnight. In the villages, people would enter their houses at 8 p.m. and not come out at all. Today, death seemed very close to Trisha. For the first time in her life, she felt sad that she was a girl. She felt sorry for how she had trusted these demonic boys and got into the car. She felt sad about her plight. She wanted to say something, but no words came out of her mouth. Whatever happens, happens. She was crying and thinking about what she could not do. Their car was gaining speed. In the meantime, a man came and stopped in front of their car. The driver suddenly braked hard. While he was questioning him, he hit him on the head with a stick 2-3 times. The boy who was driving the car fell to the ground on the spot. The second boy started running from there to save his life. However, he could not escape the blow of the stick. Trisha now got down from the car with courage. When she saw who had beaten the young man who had forcibly taken her away, she realized that it was the young man who had spoken to her just a few minutes ago. He had come forward to help, but Trisha had sent him back. Do you know what is happening with girls recently? Yet how did you agree to sit in the car with those boys? Why didn't you think at all? Santosh asked Trisha, and she stood up in shame. I had not gone far, so I heard you yelling. Otherwise, what would have happened to you? When tears started to well up in Trisha's eyes, Santosh felt that he had scolded her a little too much. She had been scared earlier. Moreover, she could not bear this scolding. After that, he somehow calmed her down and started checking what happened to her scooty. Santosh knew how to repair a scooty. Here, take this. Your scooty is fixed. She didn't know how to thank Santosh for helping her. What would have happened to me if he had not come to my aid today? She thought, trembling. No, no, you don't need to thank me, Santosh said, surprising Trisha. Just as she was wondering how he knew what she had said, he said, I knew it from the expression on your face, making her burst into laughter. Even if it's just for the sake of the scooty, it was a pleasure to meet you today, Santosh said, looking at her intently. I was also very happy to meet you, she said, pushing the curls that were floating over her eyes behind her ears and smiling. Trisha did not go back home to tell the incident because her parents would tense her up. They would have forbid her from driving. But she decided to be careful from now on. She told herself not to trust anyone easily. A special day always comes in all of our lives. That day is very special for us. It was a special day in Trisha's life. The scooty broke down and she had to meet Santosh. Whenever Santosh's smiling face came before her eyes, her desire to meet him increased. But how could she meet him? She did not know his address. He had not even taken her phone number. Even Santosh, when he thought of Trisha, he would get lost in her thoughts. Then he would beat himself up. He should have at least asked her for her number that day, right? It had been 2 months since they met like this. Yet neither of them had forgotten the other. They both thought that they would never meet again. One day they met by chance in a mall. The feeling in their hearts when they saw each other was indescribable. Trisha liked Santosh's simple, honest, and cheerful attitude very much. Trisha's slender body, her golden shining complexion, wide eyes, dark thick hair, and the charming smile on her pink lips were very attractive to Santosh. After that, the two met many times. They confessed everything to each other. The interests and thoughts of both of them were quite compatible. Like Trisha, Santosh too could not tolerate injustice. He did not like to praise anyone unnecessarily. He was always ready to help those who came to him seeking help. The interests and disinterests of both of them were so compatible that it seemed that both of them were created for each other. They could not afford to miss a day without meeting. From their recent meeting, she felt that they were becoming attracted to each other. She liked Santosh's thinking and the way he spoke very much. How do you speak so well? When she asked how such good words came to you, he said, such good words come from experience. Life teaches a person everything, even speaking. Trisha looked at him as her future partner. She knew that it would not be difficult to oblige her father, but she knew that obliging her mother would be very difficult. She believed that he would definitely accept him, seeing his conversation and character. Santosh was the only one who was not afraid of this. His mother considered the happiness of his father and son as her own. But Santosh was only concerned about his two younger sisters. Only father worked at home, the rest sat and ate. Many times he would ask his mother, "Mom, do I also do some work? I help father. How long will he bear the responsibility of the family?" Santosh's father would say, "You don't need to work right now. You should focus on your studies now." His father had dreamed of his son studying abroad. He wanted him to have a good future. Just when Trisha wanted to tell her mother about herself and Santosh, she held a photo in front of her and said, "This is the son of my friend in America. I want you to marry him." "But mummy, I can't marry him because I love someone else," she said, and told her mother everything about herself and Santosh. Dad had no objection to Trisha's words, but her daughter's words angered her mother. "First, I will meet the boy you mentioned. I will decide whether he is a suitable groom for you or not," she said. Trisha was confident that after meeting and talking to Santosh, Amma would definitely accept him because she believed that Santosh, whom she loved, was a very good boy. Santosh was also ambivalent about whether Trisha's mother and father would accept him or not. What if they don't like him? While thinking about it, Trisha had to agree to her insistence and go with her to her house. Along the way, Trisha told Santosh how to talk to his mother and father. She taught him how to impress them. However, in Santosh's heart, what if they don't like him? What if he fails to impress them? He was worried. He was very scared. But when he met Trisha's father, he didn't feel like he was meeting him for the first time. Her father was very happy to meet a smiling person like Santosh. Her father was happy to meet a person he wanted after a long time, but her mother was weighing whether Santosh would be suitable for her daughter or not. His modest dress and way of talking did not seem suitable for his daughter. But he did not say all this in words because first they wanted to know about Santosh and his family. Who is there in his house? What does the father do? What does the mother do? What is the character of the boy? Are there any criminal records against anyone in the family? To find answers to all these questions, Trisha's mother wanted to do a premarital investigation. Then she would do whatever she had to do. Amma was of the opinion that usually some people pretend to be simple and trap others in their net. Finally, she took the help of a detective agency. Nayana, who grew up in the lap of wealth, did not want Trisha to marry Santosh from a modest family but to Tushar, an American young man. So she came up with her own plan to separate the two. She got the opportunity at a party held at a hotel that night. What did Tushar do at that party at the hotel? It did not only open Nayana's eyes. Did Tushar's true colors also come out? Through the detective's investigation, it was learned that Santosh is a young man from a modest family. His father works a modest job. With that, he manages his family and pays for the education of his younger sisters. His mother is a housewife. She does not have her own house. She lives in a rented house. Santosh pays for his education by giving tuition to some children. He has also applied for a scholarship. She also heard good opinions about the boy's character. "Despite poverty at home, you still want to eat payasam. You want to marry my daughter," Nayana said to herself. "I will ruin your character, that too in front of my daughter. My daughter spends as much money as you and your father earn in a month in one day. She wants to marry a rich boy and have fun all her life. Those who dream of marrying my daughter should be taught a lesson." She felt like telling the man the truth right now. He is not right for you. She felt like telling her daughter that he loves you, not you, but your money. But at that, she immediately said, "Mom, is not money everything to you? Doesn't love have any value? No matter what, I love Santosh." After that, she felt like she couldn't tell her anything else. Knowing that arguing with today's children is like dragging a plank over their own feet, Nayana was not ready to drag a plank over her own feet. But she had decided to put a shackle on her daughter's feet. But she had decided in her mind that she would think and consider before taking a step. There is no trust in a husband. He also supports his daughter 100%. There is no doubt that everyone has the right to live in their own way. A husband loves his daughter very much and is ready to do anything for her. But Nayana was not so stupid as to ignore her daughter's interests. She had decided not to marry her daughter to Santosh. Her domestic workers could have beaten Santosh and thrown him out. But seeing her daughter's face, she did not go for such a misadventure. After meeting Santosh, a kind of anxiety had arisen in Nayana's mind. What can she do if Trisha insists on marrying him? What will happen to her reputation in society? She boasts of being very rich, but she can laugh at herself and say that she washed her hands off her daughter's marriage to a man who doesn't even have his own house. Nayana wanted to keep Santosh away from her daughter by any means. She was ready to do anything for that. One day she found out Santosh's address, reached his house, and started insulting and belittling the family members. You all deliberately conspired to steal my daughter's property. Did you know that father and son would succeed in this? I will not let your attempt succeed, she said in a tone that came to mind. Santosh's father could have taken them to task right then and there and auctioned off their honor, but he kept quiet after hearing Nayana play that day, saying that it was better to remain silent. Santosh did not mention the matter of Nayana coming to his house and talking as much as she could and auctioning off her honor to Trisha. But somehow Trisha came to know about it. He came to know that Amma had tried to buy him off with money. Trisha had never imagined that Amma would do this. She went to Amma's room in a rage like a rag doll and said, "Why are you doing this? You have lost your own respect by doing this. This is my life. I can marry anyone I want. I am an adult. You cannot impose any restrictions on me. If I saw that, I was ready to leave the house, but seeing my father's face, I kept quiet," she said and left for her room. Even her husband Akshay was fed up with his wife's behavior. Nayana never respected Akshay as her husband. Whatever she said, it was the same at home. Akshay had never denied his wife's words. They never had that much courage. Nayana came from a wealthy family. Her father was a high-ranking officer in the Navy. He had a lot of property in the village too, but Nayana was their only daughter. Growing up in the lap of wealth, Nayana had a very stubborn nature from childhood. Her father was looking for a calm groom for his daughter. He needed someone who could tolerate her anger. Her father decided that a groom like Akshay was the right one for Nayana. Akshay's parents were also ready to marry their son to Nayana for the sake of dowry, but they did not think about the fact that money never brings happiness. Nayana never spoke to Akshay in person. She did not even respect her mother-in-law. She was so proud of her wealth that she looked down on everyone in front of her. Nayana thought of some way to make her daughter reject Santosh herself. One day when Nayana was going somewhere in her car, she saw Santosh standing with some girl at the bus stop. The two were standing so close that Nayana became suspicious. She parked her car to one side. She saw the two of them laughing and talking. Later they both drank juice. Before being put on the bus, the girl hugged Santosh. Then Santosh kissed her cheek and said goodbye to her. Nayana captured all those scenes on her phone. Showing the photo of Santosh and the girl to her daughter, she said, "Look, what is your Santosh character like? You blindly trust him. You should know what he really is. He loves your money, not you. He is cheating you by playing the love game." Nayana said in one breath, "Mom, what is wrong with you? You are saying things without thinking. You are showing this photo and insulting his character. The girl he was with is his uncle's daughter. She had come here for a bank exam. Santosh had gone to the bus stand to send her home." Money, money. Is money all you see? Is money everything to a man? It is your misconception that Santosh loves me for money. I don't need your money. I will be happy with Santosh in any situation, Trisha said, going to her room and closing the door. Trisha was fed up with Amma's behavior. She would often bring up Santosh and try to belittle him. She would insist that he was not a suitable match for her. He was very poor. How could he take care of you? Nayana wanted her daughter to marry her friend's son, Tushar, and live happily in America. She thought that if her daughter hung out with Tushar for a while, he might like her. But Trisha didn't like him. Nayana's friend was Indian. But she went to America, married a local man, and became a resident. However, the two friends kept talking. Nayana had gone to America many times and stayed at her house. She liked Tushar very much. Nayana was thinking why not write a new chapter by marrying her friend's son. But Trisha never even thought of marrying Tushar. At her mother's insistence, she sometimes went out with Tushar, but she definitely did not agree to marriage. Tushar used to laugh and talk about girls' private parts on the phone with his American friends. She felt disgusted by his bad behavior. Tushar's skin was white. His mind was as dark as the forest. He tried to hug and kiss Trisha many times, but Trisha would not give him a chance. The more Nayana tried to bring Trisha closer to Tushar, the more she tried to distance herself from him. Trisha told her mother that Tushar was not a boy of good character. He looked down on girls, but she did not listen to her. Santosh had written the exam for a scholarship. He passed it and was selected. He went to Switzerland on a scholarship for 2 years. Trisha also went to Switzerland to do her MBA after completing her BBA. After returning from there, the two had decided to get married. Trisha had told her father about her plan in advance, but she was afraid to tell her mother about it. She was afraid that she would throw stones at her. She thought that she would tell her only after she came to India. Hearing about her daughter's marriage to Santosh, a verbal altercation broke out between the mother and daughter. Trisha was not ready to accept her mother's words, and the mother was not ready to understand her daughter's feelings. Santosh's manners, clothes, food, and snacks are all different. The two families are incompatible and were nothing. How will you live with such a boy? She used to ask her daughter. She used to say that if you ever marry him, my honor in society would be ruined. But Trisha would not listen to anything her mother said. She used to insist that she would not marry anyone except Santosh unless she died. Trisha was of mature age and could marry anyone of her choice. She was afraid that she would not be able to stop it, but she was not ready to accept her defeat. Nayana restricted Trisha from meeting Santosh. She did not allow her to go anywhere alone. She also kept a close eye on who she spoke to on the phone and how long she spoke to. She had strengthened the security around the house. She had made sure that Santosh did not linger around her house. She had threatened that she would have to stay like this until she agreed to marry Tushar. Trisha could have answered her mother's every word. She could have run away from home and married Santosh, but she remained silent, accepting her father's idea. Trisha knew very well that if she ever left home, her mother would make her father's life hell. It was Tushar's birthday. Nayana, Akshay, and Trisha were special guests at the party. Trisha did not want to go to the party, but fearing the trouble Nayana had caused at home, her father allowed her to go to the party. The party was held at a grand hotel in the city. Apart from the city's dignitaries, some of his friends from America had come to the party. Tushar had planned to introduce them to Trisha. Nayana's mother wanted her daughter to somehow like Tushar and forget Santosh, so she pressured her daughter and sent her to dance with Tushar. Nayana had to leave in the middle of the party because she received an urgent call. The party went on for a long time. After the dance, Tushar brought Trisha a drink. Although she did not want to, she had to drink it. But as she drank the drink, something started to happen to her. She leaned back on the sofa. Tushar didn't have a good feeling about Trisha. Santosh had already known that. That's why he had somehow found it difficult to join the party. Santosh noticed Tushar taking Trisha to a room. But he did not know which room he had taken her to. He saw Trisha's bracelet lying in front of a room in the hotel. When he put his ear to the door of that room, he heard some noises inside. He realized that Trisha was in this same room. He immediately went to the hotel manager and told him everything. If anything like that happens to that girl, the hotel will be responsible for it. It will also get a bad name. It should not happen, he said. Listening to Santosh, the hotel manager went with another lock and opened the door. Everyone was surprised to see the scene there. Tushar was trying to rape her with his two friends. She had tried to save herself while she was still conscious. How dare you behave like this with my daughter? Nayana shouted loudly and slapped Tushar hard on the cheek. She also slapped the other two boys. She also scolded her friend. Your son's true colors have already been revealed, otherwise, I would have been ruined, she said. By that time, the police arrived there. Tushar's mother rushed to the spot and held Nayana's hand and feet, but Nayana did not pay any attention to her words. Tushar and his two friends were arrested by the police and taken away. Nayana was devastated, thinking about what would have happened to her daughter if Santosh had not come here today. What could she have done even if those thugs had raped and murdered her? For the first time, Nayana felt that her daughter had made the right decision. She felt that her decision was wrong. Trisha was right in saying that money is not everything. A man should be good, truth should be with him. Money can be earned in any way, but not everyone has good morals. Becoming a great person by reading and writing, wearing good clothes, eating good food are not good morals. Good morals are understanding the sorrow of others, respecting those who are older than you. None of these qualities were present in Tushar. Trisha had tried to tell her so many times that Tushar was not a good boy, but Nayana ignored her words and kept her mouth shut. After reaching home, Nayana did not just ask for forgiveness from her daughter Trisha and husband Akshay. She stood in front of Santosh with her head bowed. She folded her hands and asked him to forgive her. She admitted her mistake, that she had made a mistake in choosing humanity. No, auntie, please don't say that. You were right in your position. Mom and dad tried to give more happiness to their children. You also thought the same. It was not your fault. You thought that Trisha would be happy by marrying Tushar. There was nothing wrong with that. She felt that she had made such a mistake by thinking badly of him. She felt that because of her stubbornness and ego, she had mistaken the diamond for a stone and stone for a diamond. Nayana was very happy to meet Santosh that day. That 2 days she thought of Santosh as her son-in-law with all her heart. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel.